This is Mr. Martin. These are video notes for Pre-Calculus Advanced. We're talking about hyperbolas. This is the video for number 2 in the We Do section of the notes. So we're going to go through this example together. So we want to sketch the graph of the hyperbola. We're also going to find some extra stuff. We're going to make sure we find the center. We're going to find our vertices, and we're going to find our foci. So we're starting out here in our general form, and we have a lot less information here than we normally have, which simplifies things a little bit. So we've got 4y squared minus 9x squared is equal to 36. Now we don't have any y terms or x terms, and we've already got our constant on the other side. So basically, to put this into standard form, all we need to do is make it equal to 1. So I'm going to divide everything by 36. Divide by 36, divide by 36. And then I'm just going to reduce all of my fractions. So 4/36 reduces to 1/9. So I've got y squared over 9 minus, and then this is going to reduce to x squared over 4 is equal to 1. So I notice that my y squared is first, so that means that this is going to be vertical. Okay, so that's important. Make sure that when we draw hyperbola, we actually have it opening up and down. And I see that a squared is 9. A squared is equal to 9, which means that a is equal to 3. And b squared is equal to 4, so b is equal to 2. And we're going to find c, because we're going to use that later. So c squared is a squared plus b squared. So a squared plus b squared is 13, which means that c is the square root of 13, which is about 3.6. Okay, so we see that this is really y minus 0 squared, and it's really x minus 0 squared. So we know that our center is going to be at 0, 0. So let's go ahead and graph that. There's our center at 0, 0. And since it opens vertically, I'm going to go up 3 and down 3 to locate my vertices. So up 3 and down 3. So let's label our vertices here. So I've got 0, 3 and 0, negative 3. And then I'm going to use b to get the other sides of my central rectangle. So I'm going to go 2 to the left and the right. So 2, 0, and negative 2, 0. And once I have those 4 points, I'm going to draw my central rectangle. So here's my central rectangle. And then once I have my central rectangle, I'm going to go through the opposite vertices of my rectangle to get my asymptotes. So let's go ahead and draw those in. So I've got these. There's the other one going through the diagonals. And once I have my central rectangle and my asymptotes, I can go ahead and draw the curve. Remember, okay, it's vertical, so I want to start at the vertices, which are here on the top and the bottom of my central rectangle. So here's one piece, parabola shape. And then the other piece down here, parabola shape. And this blue is the actual hyperbola. Everything else is just helping us. So before we move on to the next example, let's talk about the foci. So I know that c is 3.6. So from the center, I'm going to go up 3.6. So there's going to be one foci, and then I'm going to go down 3.6. Here's the other foci. And since our center is at 0, 0, it makes our foci kind of easy to find. So I'm going to be at 0, positive square root of 13. You could use 3.6 if you wanted to as well. And then 0, negative square root of 13. Those would be our foci. And finally, Let's take a look at our asymptotes. So again, for my slope, normally I just look and see, okay, if I start at my center, I would go up this amount, which is A, and over this amount, which is B. So rise over run, my slope is going to be A over B. So for my asymptotes, I know I'm going to have y is equal to k, which is 0. So I'm going to put that in just so we see where it's coming from, and then I'll simplify. Plus or minus, and then I figured out we have A rise over run B, so A over B is 3/2. And then I have x minus h, so x minus 0. And then this is going to simplify to y is equal to positive or negative 3/2 x. And those would be my two asymptotes. One would have the positive slope and one would have the negative slope. Since it goes through the origin, remember this is sort of like y equals mx plus b, except our b is 0, so that it just turns out to be 3/2 x or negative 3/2 x. Alright, if you have any questions, make sure that you ask. Feel free to rewatch this if you missed anything, and we'll see you in the next video.